Let's dry away these bitter tears. I won't just go and leave you here. Stay strong for me. The mist will mind you till I send a fare. And to Raya, my Mary Kate, to Raya, my Mary Kate, I might see Australia. We will meet again someday.
An Gorta Mór of Galer, Doolough Mór of Galer, Louisburgh in you, quid Doolough An Gorta Mór in Doolough. So you're all so very welcome here this morning to Afri's Doolough Famine Walk. This is our 38th Famine Walk. I want to begin firstly by welcoming our President, Catherine Connolly, Uptaron Naheran. I know I speak for so many of us when I say what a great honour it is to have you here today at a time when so many people in positions of power are letting us down. They're choosing silence, evasion, militarisation and fear. I think it matters more than ever and so deeply to all of us that we have someone representing us on the world stage whose life and work has been rooted in peace, justice, equality, dignity and care. It's also very special because Catherine has been a walk leader a number of times. We are just really, really honoured to have you here and thank you so much for continuing to walk with us. Today we're gathering in a place of great beauty. For anyone who has seen Doolough, they know how gorgeous the valley is, but it's also a place of very painful memories. And this road carries a history, one of hunger, of forced displacement, of abandonment and loss. But we're not coming here today simply just to look back. We're coming here because that history is still asking something of us. What happened here was not just a tragedy. It was colonial violence. It was what happens when land is taken, people are made dependent, poverty is criminalised, and the lives of the poor are placed beneath property, profit, and empire. We know that food left this island while people starved. Christy Moore's song, On a Single Day, with words by Padder O'Rita, begins with the stark line, a list of exports from Cork Harbour. There was pork, ham, bacon, flour, cattle, sheep, eggs, grain and food, all leaving through Irish ports while people died of hunger. Christine Keneally's research tells us that in 1847 alone, almost 4,000 vessels carried food from Ireland to the ports in Britain, the same year that hundreds of thousands of people died of starvation and related diseases.
When I first arrived in 2014 to seek asylum, an immigration officer slammed our passports on the desk in front of us and said, "Not you people again." I have never forgotten the shame of it. The weight of being made to feel like a problem before I had even crossed the threshold. And I carry a version of that shame still. I carry an Irish passport now. I have carried it through airports all over the world with much pride. And it is only here in Ireland that sometimes I hesitate to hold it up where people can see, especially when I'm in the airport queue. Because I'm always bracing for that look, for that unspoken question behind it. Like, how did she get that? Is it really hers? There's a particular loneliness in being made to feel like a stranger in the one place that is supposed to be home. And yet sometimes, at that same border, an officer glances at my passport and smiles and says, "Welcome home, Donnah." And I cannot tell you what that does to me. After everything, to be welcomed home by name. Whatever I'm carrying lifts and my spirits come back and suddenly I feel alive again. That is the distance a person can travel in this country. The same border, the same passport, but somewhere in between, I stopped being you people and became Donnah. who belongs here. If it can happen at a passport desk, it can happen anywhere. And that is what I hold on to. Perhaps this is why this gathering feels so important. Because at its heart, Doolough is something always about belonging. It's about what happens when people are forgotten, when people become invincible, when suffering is ignored, when some lives are valued less than others. And every year we gather here to remember those that walked this road during one of the darkest periods in Irish history. People who were hungry, people who were desperate, people seeking relief, people who had names, families and loved ones, and people whose humanity was not recognized by those who had the power to help. This place carries that memory. There's something extraordinary about Doolough. I've always said that if there's a place where you could reach out and touch the hand of God, this might be it. There's a stillness here, something magical, a presence. Whether you're a person of faith or not, there's something about this landscape that invites reflection. It invites healing, it also invites honesty. That is what places like Doolough do. They remind us to hope. They remind us that change is possible, and they remind us that ordinary people can make extraordinary things happen. And at a time when the world feels increasingly divided, we need those reminders.
The British Empire in the mid-19th century, it wasn't quite at its height, but it was the wealthiest country in the world, with colonies stretching from the Caribbean to the South Pacific. And Ireland was not only part of that empire, but also part of the Union at that point. And yet 1 million people were allowed to die, and another million were forced to emigrate. And the only way to explain that scale of suffering and death is through the logic of colonialism. I'm really happy to say that my son Ted is here, and he's going to do the walk with us. He's only 9, and he told me not to be too boring, so I hope I haven't been too boring. I've been trying to get him to read a book that my mum wrote in the mid-90s called The Alphabet Network. The book's set in the mid-21st century in Ireland, and Ireland is one of the few places that still has clean water and trees and fertile soil. And we learn in the book that the reason why Ireland is like this is because the Alphabet Network, an underground organisation of like-minded people, protected Ireland in the past. And they protected Ireland from being sold off and destroyed. And in the story, the network is reactivated because the government is once again trying to sell off the land and the resources. As I was thinking about the book and I was thinking about Ted reading it, I was thinking about Afri. And I was thinking about Afri and all those who are close to Afri, and many of you are here. And I think of us as an alphabet network fighting for this just and inclusive republic.
You'll be following the crows over the hills for that yet. A reproach heard a dozen times from my mother as I or any of us threw out a scrap of food. A vision of ragged-skirted women running, silhouetted against a curved skyline, and the crows growing ever more distant. But I didn't wonder until recent years where the saying came from her own mother maybe, born at the height of the land war, or her mother's father, who was born the year of emancipation, was almost a young man, was old enough to cut and set the seed potatoes in 1845, with no inkling of what was coming over the hills. The silent, murdering fungus, and then the clamorous crows. And battling the silence, what now, besides an old adage, is passed down those 3 long generations from Hampshire and Droghale? Thrift, caution, maybe distrust of the earth. That phrase my friend inherited. A foot of counter is better than an acre of land. But maybe, too, the knowledge that now, as then, a famine is caused not by wantonness or indolence, but by inequity and indifference. And now, as then, something can be done. And now, as then, history will be our judge.
Go down I the Crivna, go down I the Ashling, go down fui Coshla do Hannah Cree, tá Anam Magdo, Anam Uasol, August Trayan, Crivnig, Crivnig, Crivnig. Go down Rivon Crivna, Sular Honig an Ashling. Go down Atá Savil, Atá Ag Ritri de Gorp. Is Widna on Pubble, is widna an oiga. Schlup na scolari is fili na nuaka.
It's just incredibly emotional and rich, which is a strange word, but it's rich in layers of meaning. There's memory and there's solidarity and there's the expression of care and concern and kindness. And I always find that almost overwhelming. The things that we're remembering are horrific and things that we want to change in the world. But the atmosphere among the people here is the antithesis of that. It's about kindness and goodness and doing everything we possibly can to make the world a better place. For that reason, the Famine Walk is just an incredibly important event.
To go on this walk that was so horrific back in the famine times, and to do it on a day like today when it's lovely, it's kind of hard to imagine the hardship that they went through. But when you read about it, you do feel the horror of it, don't you, Paddy? Yeah. You know. But anyway, I think the significance of it is you meet people who have an interest in other people, and you know, who want to make the world better.
I thought all the speeches were good. The singing was very good too. I thought the walk would be a bit longer. It sounded worse in my head. It's not bad. Already halfway, like it's nice and fine.
The highlight for me was the reception the President got. I thought that was just fantastic. And that you can do that. You can walk in and just be an ordinary person, you know.
What's really beautiful is that it's like a community. It feels like everybody's really friendly and loving towards each other. It's like we're being what we wish to see. So it's really nice. And it's also gorgeous. Like the whole mountains and valleys and everything like that. I think it just kind of immediately points out to me the horrors of what they had to go through, because literally we're probably 2K in and I'm talking to her, I'm like, oh, I'm kind of hungry, you know? I ate breakfast this morning and I'm gonna eat dinner tonight and I'm still hungry 2K into the walk. And so you're just not hungry, but you know, you're wanting a snack or whatever. And so just to keep that thought in your head is just like, these people have been probably starving for months or maybe years, and then they're making this walk. That would be difficult for anyone, but particularly under their circumstances. It's good to kind of keep that as you walk, like in your head, how comfortable you are and how uncomfortable they must have been. I don't know, I think sometimes in politics it's like photo ops or whatever, and that was the opposite. Like she wasn't wanting people to take pictures necessarily. She was just like, I'm here because this is a cause, or this is a thing that I want to do. That just shows what she prioritizes, is like memorialization, but also the action for peoples around the world, I think.
Yeah, we were saying it's interesting that, you know, such an important figure, she's able to do that and be so down to earth and engage so friendly with the people here and just not, you know, make a fuss about it. She just came in like anyone else.
And there he felt the cold upon her as he laid her down to rest. And so he knelt down by her bed and drew her feet up to his chest. And there he tried to warm